the vast emptiness of the open ocean, silence becomes a force of its own, heavy, suffocating, and almost impossible to ignore. The battleship cuts through the fog like a giant shadow, yet every sound feels amplified. The rhythmic punch of the engines, the metallic groan of steel under pressure, the faint whistle of cold wind brushing past antennas. Sailors move with quiet precision, their eyes scanning horizons where nothing can be seen, yet everything can be hiding. It is in this eerie stillness that fear grows strongest, the kind of fear that doesn't roar, but whispers. The ocean stretches endlessly, an infinite blue void capable of swallowing entire fleets without leaving a trace. Out here, a single wrong calculation, a delayed command, or a misread signal can decide the fate of hundreds. Naval warfare doesn't start with explosions. It begins with a tension that wraps itself around the heart like a tightening rope. Every sailor understands that the sea has no mercy and no memory, only consequences. And as the fog thickens and visibility fades, the crew knows the first strike is coming. But from where, no one can say. The quiet stability of the radar room shatters with a sudden sharp beep. A single blip appears on the screen, small, distant, but unmistakably real. Within seconds, more appear, forming a formation that spreads across the radar like a growing storm. Officers exchange tense glances before rushing into motion. Red warning lights flare to life, filling the room with an urgent glow as coordinates are shouted, distances relayed, and systems activated. On deck, sailors sprint to their positions, strapping helmets and securing weapons as the once calm sea transforms into a theater of impending war. The shift from peace to battle readiness happens in seconds. The crew knows that radar signatures don't lie. Each new dot represents steel, firepower, and intention. The air thickens with adrenaline as the ship shifts course, cutting through the water with renewed force. The enemy isn't just approaching, they are committing. And the crew can feel the weight of the moment. Everything they trained for, every drill, every long night at sea. It all comes down to what happens next. The first contact has been made. The war clock has started. Without warning, a violent streak of fire tears across the sky. The enemy has fired first. The missile slices through clouds, leaving a burning trail as alarms erupt across the ship. Sailors grab railings, bracing themselves against the blast wave they know is coming. The missile hits the water just meters from the hull, erupting into a towering geyser of steam and shattered sea. The shock wave slams into the ship, rattling steel and sending equipment crashing to the floor. That single explosion changes the tone of everything. The battle is no longer approaching. It has begun. Flames reflect across the waves as smoke rises into the air, mixing with the salty mist. Every heartbeat thunders like a war drum. The crew now understands hesitation is death, and on this ocean, the only answer to fire is more fire. The battleship responds like a waking titan. Cannons rotate with mechanical precision before unleashing a deafening barrage. The deck erupts in flames as shells blast into the sky, trailing sparks as they arc toward the enemy. The recoil shakes the entire vessel, echoing through steel corridors as sailors reload with practiced speed. Each round fired is a message, a declaration that this ship will not go quietly into the depths. Smoke spreads across the deck, blending with the scent of burning fuel and hot metal. The calm ocean has transformed into a violent canvas of fire and thunder. The crew operates like a single machine, focused, relentless, determined. The war has officially entered its second phase, the exchange of fury. Far below the chaos on the surface, a different kind of threat moves silently. A submarine glides through the dark depths like a predator, its hull blending into the shadows. Inside, operators monitor sonar screens with icy calm. A torpedo is loaded into the tube, its engine humming softly like a sleeping beast. Then, launch. The torpedo slices through the water, leaving a trail of bubbles as it accelerates toward the battleship. On the surface, the sonar operator's eyes widen at the sharp ping echoing through the room. A warning is shouted, but time is short. The tension is suffocating as sailors brace for a strike they cannot see. Underwater warfare is unforgiving. Enemies hidden in the deep are often deadliest of all. Above the raging sea, another battle unfolds. Fighter jets roar through the clouds, diving at terrifying speed toward the fleet. Anti-aircraft guns react instantly, unleashing streams of glowing tracers that light the sky like burning comets. Missiles lock on and streak upward, colliding with enemy aircraft in bursts of fire. The sky becomes a swirling storm of smoke, flames, and falling debris. For the sailors below, every jet passing overhead feels like a scythe cutting through the air. The war has expanded now, no longer limited to waves, but rising into the heavens. Just when the battle reaches its fiercest point, nature itself turns against both fleets. A monstrous storm slams into the battlefield, unleashing waves as tall as buildings. Lightning shreds the sky, illuminating shattered ships and burning decks. Wind howls like a beast, tearing at flags, ropes, and exposed metal. The ocean becomes a swirling vortex of destruction, drowning out the sounds of war with its own fury. Navigation becomes nearly impossible, cannons struggle to aim, and jets are forced to retreat. In moments like this, sailors are reminded that the sea is not an ally, only a ruler, and one that cannot be defied. As the storm begins to weaken, a new threat emerges. Through the fading curtain of rain, dark silhouettes appear, an enemy fleet lying in wait. They strike with brutal precision, unleashing shells that tear through steel and ignite fires across the deck. The ship rocks violently as explosions rip through compartments. Smoke fills the air, turning day into night. This ambush is perfectly timed, perfectly executed, and devastating. The crew is thrown into chaos once more, battling both the aftermath of the storm and the fury of the enemy. Despite the damage, the battleship refuses to fall. Systems reboot, weapons reload, and morale surges with renewed fire. Cannons boom once more, their thunder echoing across the sea as shells slam into enemy vessels. The sky glows orange from the barrage. Every sailor stands firm, fueled by anger, duty, and an unbreakable will to fight. The ship becomes a symbol of resilience, turning the tide with every shot. A rescue helicopter battles fierce winds as it hovers above the burning ship. Debris flies in every direction while medics descend on ropes, dodging flames and falling metal. Injured sailors are lifted one by one, each rescue a fight against time and danger. The scene is a blend of chaos and heroism, fire roaring below, lightning crackling above, and human courage shining through it all. Even in the worst moments of war, compassion finds a way to rise. The enemy flagship emerges like a floating fortress, towering above all other ships. Armor thick as mountains, cannons the size of buildings, and engines roaring like beasts. This is the ultimate challenge, the heart of the enemy force. The ocean holds its breath as both titans face each other. Cannons thunder, explosions erupt, and the battlefield becomes a furnace of fire and steel. The clash is nothing short of legendary. Just when hope seems to crumble, a powerful Allied fleet appears on the horizon. Warships cut through the waves like blades, their cannons blazing as fighter jets launch in synchronized formations. The sea trembles from the sheer force of their arrival. The enemy, once confident, now finds itself overwhelmed. Reinforcements bring not just firepower, but hope, and hope changes everything. As the flames fade and smoke drifts into the morning sky, the ocean becomes quiet once more. The enemy fleet is destroyed, leaving behind only burning wreckage floating on calm waters. The surviving crew gathers on the deck, exhausted, bruised, and awestruck by what they've endured. Their ship is scarred, battered, and nearly broken, but still standing. The sunrise shines through the haze, turning destruction into a golden testament of victory. On this day, they proved that true strength doesn't come from firepower, but from refusing to sink. The Allied fleet coordinates a devastating final attack. Missiles rain from the sky like burning meteors. Torpedoes strike from below, ripping open steel. Artillery fire crashes from all sides, converging into the most powerful explosion of the war. A blinding flash engulfs the flagship as fire bursts through every deck. The shockwave ripples across the ocean, marking the end of the enemy's reign.